The 5 pillars of success. Now, what occurred for me was when I first got out and I decided, okay, I'm doing this, I was all over the place. How many people have been there, right? All over the place, right? There are so many programs out there, and I'm not going to name any of them, but I've been to more mastermind events, more, experts events, more, exciting, motivational, exciting things that, just get you pumped up to succeed than anybody in this room, I guarantee it. Because I was just out there reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching, right? And I got to tell you the truth, and hand to God, because I haven't been like a Digital Altitude member for the last 10 years. I haven't been like, in this exact streamlined system. But obviously when they asked me to speak, I said, okay, I got to check this out. And let me tell you, you guys are absolutely positively blessed, benefited, helped, served, because you've got a program, you've got a ladder you can climb, and it has exact instructions, and you should absolutely give huge thanks to Digital Altitude for mapping the road to the top of the mountain for you, right? Because let me tell you, I've done a lot of the other programs, and they don't have that, right? It's all about, just choose this subject that you're going to be an expert in, and then just write a book on it, and then just do that. It's not there. There's no substance. So you guys are in the right place at the right time, because there's only 1 billion or so people on the internet right now, and there's 7 billion more coming in the next couple years. How exciting is that prospect? That causes a grumbling, right? There's plenty to go around. So I want to talk to you about the things that I finally got organized for myself. I finally took some of the stuff that I had in the corporate world and transitioned it into the digital marketing world. And I said, wow, this will actually work, right? I'm going to set a roadmap. And now, you've already got that all laid out for you with Digital Altitude. But what you're going to have here is just something to get your day-to-day. How many people have trouble with the day-to-day? Okay, good. How many people have trouble with the overall organization? Like when I said, look at where you're going to be 5 years, you were like, whoa, I don't know about that, right? How many people honestly know where they'll be 5 years from now? Yeah, okay, not many. Because there's a whole strategic plan to get there. So here's my suggestions. I'm going to give you 5 things, right? And as far as I'm concerned, those 5 things are like fingers. It's the Mike Krzyzewski thing, right? The 5 fingers alone, they can't cause much damage. I saw one of the guy had a couple broken fingers, right? That's because if you take an open hand and you hit something, you're going to break those fingers. But if you take those 5 rules and you close them up, then you get a fist. And then you can create some damage. So I want to give you 5 fingers to turn into a fist to help you with your business, okay? Okay, good. Here's the first one. Evaluation and strategy. Everybody in your business has got to start with an in-depth analysis of where your business is at. Now, we did a short, who, what, when, where, why here, but you've got to go back and really look at it. Really look at how long can you survive on your current budget? How long is it going to be till you can hire a digital assistant or a virtual assistant? How long is it going to be till you can level up to your next program? All of these things have to actually be looked at. You cannot ignore them because you're a business owner. And it's not just you're affecting, it's your customer base. It's your affiliate relationships. You have to show them that you're a professional and that you've nailed these things down and that you know where they stand, okay? And of course, you have the roadmap with DA. Okay, then the next thing is hiring an organization. Now, a lot of you are, at-home online entrepreneurs, but you have to start talking to virtual assistants. You have to start using guys on Fiverr and Odesk and Infusionsoft and all these different areas and places, right? And you have to continue to get with your coach and find out what your next step is for your next strategy, for your next level of success. And all of that has to do with the people you choose. And the people you choose can change the trajectory of your life. How many people, have heard from, Napoleon Hill or Grant Cardone or any and all of these experts who say, the 5 closest people around you, if you knew them, I know all about you. How many people have heard that theory, right? Good. How many people know that when you're around negative people, you get negative? Good. When you're around positive people, you get positive, right? So that's what you got to do with your business, right? When I talk to people about hiring for their business, and of course, I could go off on a whole run on this because this is my area of expertise, right? But the key is when you're bringing somebody into your business, you spend more time on your business, and especially you as online marketers, you spend more time on your business than you do with your family, than you do with your friends, than you do in any area of your life. Would you agree? Okay, good. So then, if you were going to bring somebody in your business, isn't that just like handing them the key to your front door? So why would you do that without interviewing them multiple times, with seeing that they can actually produce something in return for you, with taking those hard-earned dollars and giving to them? So you got to be real diligent and not desperate in your hiring. And you got to be real smart about that circle of friends that you have around you. And then you got to be real methodical about your organization of the activity. Now that doesn't mean that you have to have Apple's organizing chart where you've got 700 different divisions internationally and this and that and the other. You can put it into marketing, sales, delivery, simple, and then put each of the people underneath that, and here's how we're organizing this to make a profit. Real simple, 3 areas. And whatever your business is, that's where you're going to develop that. But the key is to just implement some organizational structure. The number one thing that I feel helped me expand my business once I left my day job was what I called compartmenting my time. Isolating the exact areas where I was strong and where I was weak with my business, and then spending the appropriate amount of time on them, right? How many people have something in their business that they just hate to do? Okay, good. How many people have something in their business that they don't feel well educated on? Not just funnels, right? So if you took those areas, wouldn't it be easier if you just said, okay, good, I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day on this. Every day from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., I'm going to just tackle that, right? That may seem like the most simple thing in the whole wide world, and some of you may be going, yeah, you're already telling me something I know, but then I see a lot of others of you nodding. That changed my life. And I now use Google Calendar, and I have literally every single moment of my day structured out, right? My alarm wakes me up, which, by the way, how many people have an iPhone? Good. Do you know it has that new bedtime app? And it counts your hours of sleep and wakes you up. So I have mine set to the birds, the little chirping birds. Okay, now realize I flew here from Tampa yesterday, so it was about a 15-hour trip. So when I got here, it was 10 o'clock. You guys were all out here drinking and partying, this and that and the other. And I'm like, oh, it's 4 in the morning for me. I'm going to bed. But then this morning, the birds started chirping. Except that it wasn't my iPhone. It was the real Hawaii birds out front. Huh? Side note. Okay, good. So you got to set up the hiring and the organization, and I really suggest organizing, just really compartment your day, because the things that you don't want to do are going to just get shelved till tomorrow or the next day or the following week. And then when you do them, now it's really painful, right? Because now there's an urgency behind it, and there's time and attention that you didn't want to give to them, and you have to get it done today. And then you stop doing what you've been doing, which is selling or marketing, right? That's how you get in that position. So if you just put it in as a regular routine, then you can get over those humps. Is that a good suggestion? Okay, good. All right. And you can do that with the exciting things as well, right? All those things that you really want to do, you give them just bigger time slots. Okay, good. So the third thing is branding and marketing. Now, I'm not going to speak to, now look, wouldn't that be a cool brand? How many people want a snow leopard like that as their cool brand, right? That's she's like, wait, I take it. She's got dibs right there. I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. Of course, I think Apple's got that locked down. But anyway, so branding and marketing. So you're going to learn more this weekend about branding and marketing, I believe, than you've learned in your entire internet research history. You're going to develop a platform that identifies you, your product, your clientele, and your future. And you see, if you have this really well nailed down, then you're going to be able to expand that into the future. And then when you circle back to what I gave you earlier, the who, what, why, where, when for the future, this will help you, because you'll be like, okay, great. If I want to be, here's the thing, right? Like, I have some coaching clients who say something like, I say, hey, where do you want to be in 5 years? And they're like, oh, I want to have 2 New York Times bestsellers, and I want to be living in Malibu, and I want to this and the other. And I go, okay, great, that's awesome, good. So how many New York Times bestsellers do you have right now? 0, good. Okay, good. So to have 2, then is it fair to say in 2.5 years, you should at least have 1 to be at 2 in 5 years? Makes sense, right? Just cut it in half? Good, okay, good. So, and how much is your house right now? Oh, about $350,000, good. And so you want a $10 million house in Malibu, good. So you should be able to move into a $5 million house in about 2.5 years, right? And so you just start to break it down. So with your business, those are exaggerated terms, right? But with your business, if you really set where you want to be, then you can actually work it back. And you can say, okay, good, if I want to be a, even take a shorter time span, in 2 to 3 years, I want to be a 7-figure earner. Good. What are you earning right now? And then what would it take? And you can just divide it out by the number of months, and you can see what that ladder is. And then you know the estimation of effort that it's going to take to expand. Does that make sense? And that's part of then your marketing plan, because a lot of people know, okay, good, if I spend this on Facebook ads, if I spend this on AdWords, if I spend this on coaching, I spend this is the result I get. So now you know whether you need to 2x that, 5x that, 10x that, to really be where you want to be in 2 to 5 years. Does that make sense? Is that useful? Okay, good. All right, so here's the next point, sales and delivery. And these pillars are what I use to just keep myself organized. Those were kind of my compartmented ideas. Every day I would sit down and go, okay, good, what time am I going to spend just selling? Because what occurs is you get so excited and into the affiliate marketing and watching the funnels and looking for the tests of the ads and creating new ebooks and doing all these activities that then, somebody, boop, reaches out. And what do? Oh, I'll get to that shortly. I mean, you get really excited for a second, but you're really busy with this iPhone app. And so then you don't sell and deliver. So I basically just create hours that this is my sell and deliver. And if I've got inbound leads, then I'm all over them during those time periods. And I set up Skype calls, and I set up Zooms, and I set up, anything and everything I do to communicate with my customers. And even prospects, people who haven't agreed to buy yet. And then if I don't have those, I go to delivery, right? Delivery is those customers who have bought and you haven't heard from in a few days. So call them, check up on them. I got to tell you, follow up or you've given up. Follow up or you've given up. It's a really, really key datum. If you took one thing away from this talk, follow up or you've given up. Because if you make a sale, if you make a relationship, if you make part of your future come true, and then you forget about it, it fades away. So you got to follow up. You got to make sure you've got a time slot on your calendar every single day where you call to thank someone, where you call to touch base with somebody. I liken it to how many people have had a personal trainer before? Okay, good. So say you've had more of you should get personal trainers. Okay, so if you had a personal trainer and you met with them on Mondays and Fridays, and then on Wednesday, you hit that new mark, like, okay, you were able to do, 50 more push-ups, or you lost 3 more pounds, or you did something of that sort. Would you really want to wait till Friday to tell them about your success or your wins? No, you'd want to be able to text them right then, or give them a quick call and touch base. That's your customer. Your customer shouldn't have to wait for their scheduled exact time to meet with you. They should be able to get updates. They should be able to get constant communication. And that follow-up shows that you personally care about them and that you're personally, truly serving them, and they're not just a number. They're not just a clock punch. They're not just a figure in your 7 figures, but that they're a real person that you really care about. And even if you've got thousands and thousands of them, Just that one phone call, that little email that's not a robotic email with a plugged-in thing and it says, Dear John, but it's got an ampersand, which means really it was, merged from something else and it didn't work out. But if you actually give them a great personal communication, hey, how's it going? And just listen to them for a second, then they're going to tell others about that. And good news, travels really, really fast. So study every program and know that life is a constant selling scenario, because what I just told you about follow-up, isn't that actually a sales opportunity? Doesn't that make them happier with your product, want to refer others to your product, want to create an affiliate link of their own and create more business for you? So really, caring is sharing, and that creates that future, okay? So then the next point, the last point, was the fact that I knew, how come this isn't going? There it is, okay, good. The last point is accountability and end games. That's a really cool statue that's in Philadelphia. It's called Freedom. And your business really is your ticket to freedom. And so accountability and end games are two things, because how many people at some point would like to have so much money, have a number of employees below them, and really be able to go from that phase 1 in your business to that phase 2 out of your business and have it just run where you're anywhere in the world and your business is just turning and turning and turning? Come on, that would be exciting, right? You got to get excited about that, right? That's where we're going, right? I mean, hey, do you climb a mountain to get halfway up? No, right? That's why you're here, because you want to get to that peak. You want to hit that summit, right? So you've got to keep yourself accountable. And that accountability is every single day looking in that mirror and saying, I'm going to build my business. I'm going to care about my customers. And I'm going to continue to do my programs, do my coaching, and I'm going to expand from here to there, to there, to there, so that I can have total freedom, okay? And that's all about focus. Getting things done, developing the balance between that tedious day-to-day and gaining the freedom to enjoy family, friends, health, and happiness. Notice that's the first quote I read all day right off the screen, because that, to me, I mean, guys, that is like, that's why you're here. And normally you're supposed to get emotional at the beginning of these things, right, and work people up, but I've watched my kids grow up. And I was an abused child in a really broken home as a kid. And I fought for everything I got in life. And then I got that 6-figure job, and it was the same figure I made in the first year as it was the 5th year, and I got a little bonus along the way, and then it was the same figure at the 10th year. And that's just no way to live life, that constant, no change. Because at some point when things get stale, when they get old, when they get bored, life just doesn't go as well. You have to constantly be creating. I noticed back there were banners. There's 5 banners, and the middle 3 say create, create, create. And that's been my struggle, that's been my toil, that's been my work, but that's also been my love, that's been my passion, that's been my happiness. That has created the ability to enjoy my family, my friends, my health, my happiness. And that's why you're here. That's what this is all about. Your success is yours alone. Does that make sense? Okay, work hard for that. So clarify that goal, accomplish your purpose. That is your mission, should you choose to accept it. This is your mission possible. Do your digital altitude climbing program. Make a difference to those you help, you care about, you love,